ready? So it is. Yes, man, yes.
So I used to treat my body like absolute shit. I didn't do anything off my plank to keep it running, and I kind of just expected it to just do what I wanted it to do when I wanted it to do it. But then came the time I bent down to pop a frontside flip, and I barely made it back up. On the pop, me back snapped, and I thought that was it. I thought I was done. I saw my life flash before my eyes. So 10 days later, a family friend came for dinner in my house, and she actually turned out to be a chiropractor. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and milk you for all you're worth. I started to explain my back problems, and she was like, look mate, if you want, you can get down on the floor right now, and I'll give you a little jabby jabby pokey pokey. So I was like, okay, what have I got to lose? I'm in pain pretty much non-stop anyway, so let's do it. So I get down on the floor, and literally 5 minutes later, I'm pain-free. So although I was pain-free, my back was still healing, and I was still awaiting surgery for my hip as well, which in total led to about a year of time off my board. But during this time, I had a realization that birthed the daily push, and a realization that hopefully all skaters will arrive at without having to go through what I went through. But anyway, we'll get to that later. So fast forward 6 years into the future, into the present, and I get a message from a guy called Chiroskate, and he's like, I see that you're traveling around the US, how about you come visit me in Atlanta? And I'm like, this seems like a little bit of a catfish situation, but we've been exchanging messages, you seem like a nice guy, so you know what, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna go visit him. Hello? Hello? Oh, mate! Are you surprised?
Yeah, I'm super surprised. Man, it's good to see you. Bring it in.
Yes, mate. How's it going? So,
good,
what's
man.
up? What's your name?
Hey, man. Dr. Shawn Robinson with Chiroskate, located here in the beautiful city of the trees, Atlanta, Georgia.
Alright, so we're going to start off with giving me a little adjustment. And what exactly is that? What does that entail?
So, the adjustment is actually going to entail a little bit of an exam. We're going to do a little bit of a muscle symmetry exam to begin with. We're going to do a little bit of a nervous system exam, kind of checking out all of the components of the spine. Before we do any adjusting, I like to really see how the body's working, how it's functioning, and then determine what adjustments need to be made, if any. So we'll go ahead and start off, get a little interview process. Regular?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have we been skating now?
Almost 20 years.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
A long time. Alright, so I've just been nicely adjusted, I'm feeling good. Now we're gonna go for a session, we're gonna jump in the car, drive over to a DIY spot, actually like one of the sickest DIY spots that I've ever skated. We're gonna learn a little bit more about what Shawn does. Atlanta, baby. So I've personally had like some absolutely banging experiences from chiropractic, but I still don't really know like much about what it is. I understand that it's like manipulating the bones and that kind of stuff, but tell us a little bit more, like what exactly is it? Like what were you doing earlier today to my bod?
So with the chiropractic adjustments, it's definitely focusing on the malpositions of the vertebrae and how that affects the nervous system. So when we're born and being created in the mother's womb, we start out as a neurocord. A neurocord is what turns into our entire body. It forms the brain, it forms the limbs, it forms everything. But as this is being formed, we have bones that grow around it to protect it, which are called the vertebrae. So as a chiropractor, we concerned about the back so much because that's where the nervous system lives. If the nervous system lived in the nose, we would care more about the nose. So today what we were doing with Matt here is we were analyzing the spine, seeing if there was any particular malpositions that could be causing some interference from the brain to the body. So as a chiropractor, when those interferences or malpositions are removed with an adjustment, that therefore restores the joint, which allows the nerve going to innervate that joint and innervate that muscle to be restored and have this new input-output to the brain so that the body can do what it does best and heal.
Is chiropractic a magical fix, or is there a lot of other stuff that you need to do alongside with it?
It seems magical, but when you break it down into a biomechanical process and start to understand how the body works, how it moves whenever there are misalignments or issues, how they can cause pain, which is really the body talking to you saying, hey, we got an issue. The same way if I had an oil light pop up on my car, that means go change the oil, you're going to be stranded on the road, right? So the body has ways of talking to you. So when that pain goes away, it may feel magic to some people, but the reality is that that issue has been attended to. The adjustment is not the all end all be thing. The adjustment helps to create this openness, this space now to where maneuvers like physical therapy, other physios, exercise can now be applied to help restore that area further, to help keep the muscles, the joints and all of that stable and performing as efficiently as possible. But I wouldn't consider it magic, right? With magic, there's always some type of illusion. Watch this hand while this other hand does this. For me, it's more science and more of the way that our bodies are intended to operate and getting the body back to homeostasis that allows the body to perform at its best. So I wouldn't get into magic, but definitely it can feel like that.
Fuck yeah. Alright, let's go skate.
Let's get it.
Let's
We're
do it.
here.
Hell yeah. This DIY is absolutely insane. This is probably one of the best DIYs that I've skated in my life.
Everybody ready? That's how we do it. Yes, man, yes, man, yes, man.
Set your place up like pretty much for skaters. You told me you get like 70% skaters coming through. How does chiropractic benefit skaters?
So for myself, when I first started getting adjusted, I did notice a lot of quicker recovery times where I would sprain the ankle or when I would fall on the shoulder, jam the wrist, get those areas adjusted, get them moving a lot better, kind of get that joint restored. Those areas healed much faster.
That's like after you injured them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, but also it helped prevent some things. So I had a little bit of like poor hip rotations, things like that. After getting my hips adjusted, I felt more motion, more mobility in them. I felt like I was able to squat, bend more. I felt like I had more rotation in my shoulders. And so with that kind of came my ability with skating getting better because I was able to do these other twists, these other turns. So I actually became certified in taking care of extremities. So I'm certified in adjusting all the way from the top of the head, the jaw, all the way to the toes. And I take a lot of pride in that because not every issue is in the spine. I see a lot of issues that start out with the ankle, where if you roll the ankle, that bone called the talus is a dome-shaped bone, and when we roll that ankle, that dome shape actually kind of pops out a little bit of that tibial space. Now when that happens, you try to get that dorsiflexion back in the foot and you notice it's limited. The reason why is there's usually a bony block of that talus along with scar tissue inflammation that is built up in there. So that adjustment to the talus therefore frees that area up, gives you back that range of motion, restores that area, allows dorsiflexion to come back in, allows the knee to properly unlock and screw into the ground the way it's intended, allows the hip to have that mobility of freedom, keeps the low back stable. So applying that to the skaters, I see them getting progressively better, not having to try to take 3 or 4 Tylenol, ibuprofen, whatever, just to feel good in the morning, painkillers, whatever they having to do to kill the pain, not having to use that now. They're able to get up, drink some water, get moving, and go skate. I'm also seeing these recovery times of people rolling their ankles be cut down sometimes by half, where they would be out usually 3 months. They're back out there doing what they want to do back in a month and a half. with everything kind of working the way they need it. Well, and I feel like that's what chiropractic is going to do, is it's going to take the skating to the next level, because you're decreasing injury times, you're increasing prevention of injuries, you're giving skaters peace of mind, right? I see it progressing, especially with the Olympics, more contests coming in. If you've got $100,000 on the line, you want to make sure you're going to the top-notch guy to make sure you're got the best chances to win, right? You don't want a bummed ankle.
And this is that guy
To deter you from that 100K check. So I feel like that's going to play a big role even more into the contest as chiropractic even gets bigger, as contest skating gets bigger with the Olympics.
What can someone do to avoid seeing a chiropractor? Like, what other kind of like lifestyle stuff or like other things that you'd recommend?
Definitely. So with chiropractic, it's a part of a lifestyle. I see myself being able to eliminate the need of it by properly stretching, properly hydrating, nutrition, right? Chiropractic to me is a component of this circle. It's one piece of the pie. You start plugging all these other pieces of the pie together, you see that sliver of chiropractic diminishing for the need of it. Whereas if you don't do all these other pieces of the pie, the chiropractic pie piece gets bigger, you have to come in for more stuff. And that's why I am actively trying to educate my people that coming in on how to properly eat, how to properly take care of themselves. And even if we can't get everything in on that session, I will usually co-manage with another provider to get them that information or whatever they need to add on to it. But I like being that catalyst that even just gets people thinking about what can I do to improve my body, because this generation now of skaters are looking for that, whereas when I first grew up, it was a beer and a cigarette for the warm-up. Now you actually see guys doing dynamic stretching and drinking water before the session. 15 years ago, that wasn't a thing. So I really feel like now is the time and place for chiropractic to even be accepted into the skate world. But to really not need it, it's kind of like saying I don't need a dentist or a dental hygienist. You can do a lot of the things you need to take care of your teeth, brushing, flossing, things like that, but it's still a good idea to go get your teeth checked just in case there is a cavity. Same thing for me. It's a good idea to get the spine, the ankles, the shoulders, everything checked to make sure it's working as efficiently as possible, and if it's not, get it fixed and get it working. To me, we're already given everything we're already going to need for the rest of our life. The smartest doctor is already inside of you. Everything that you need to heal is inside. I take pride in removing that interference and allowing your body to do its best, and that's heal.
Boom, I love that. So bringing it all back full circle, the realization that I had in that year off my board that led to the creation of the daily push is kind of like what Shawn was saying when he talks about how taking care of yourself and feeling on point on and off your board is a lifestyle. So I realized that I probably could have avoided that time off my board if I'd just taken better care of myself. And that was one of the main things that I wanted to get out there of the daily push, that yes, skating puts a shitload of stress on our bodies, but it doesn't have to destroy them. We don't have to be left with just throbbing loins at all moments of the day if we just make a bit of an effort off our planks. We have so much power over our health and how we feel on and off our planks, and thanks to people like him who are out in the streets working directly with skaters, improving how they feel and just educating them on how to blend that healthy lifestyle with a skate lifestyle. Mate, we're going to be skating until we're old and saggy. Alright, so that is it for this video on the daily push. We've got this legend over here. Alright, you've got to hold that for the whole of the outro. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Mate, thank you so much. You've been an absolute boss. Thanks for adjusting me. And where can people find you?
I'm downtown Atlanta, located inside of Studioplex, right by Krog Street Market, Boulevard, Auburn Avenue. If you're familiar with those street names in Atlanta, you can always type in echiroskate on GPS. I'm plugged in there and you can find me there.
Hell yeah. What about Instagram as well? Echiroskate,
Instagram, echiroskate. Follow me on there.
Yeah, mate. Again, thank you so much. And oh, he's still holding it. All right, you got to pop out there. You got to pop out.
All right. Wait.
Oh yes, it counts. There we go. So make sure you subscribe for regular content that's going to improve how you skate and how you feel when you skate. And that's it for this one.
Thanks, guys. Take care. I'll see you soon.
Boom.